Hi, friends. Welcome back to another live tarot reading here from Junodrome Intuitive Arts. My name is JP, and today we're going to be going into what can we expect for the collective for the week ahead. So we're going to take a look and see what energies are available for the collective this week and try to give you a good understanding on what to expect. So we're going to go into each zodiac sign. Please watch for your sun, moon, and rising signs. By watching all three, you'll get a good triangulation of what you can expect. We're going to jump right into it. So we're going to start out with the Aries. If you're watching this in post, you are welcome to find the readings in the timestamps. So go ahead and click on the timestamps to find where in the reading is your piles. So we're going to start with Aries. What can our Aries signs expect this week? Aries. What can Aries expect this week? Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs. I need one more for Aries. There it is. All right. Okay, Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can you expect this week? Well, first of all, I think you may be feeling a bit burnt out. So if you if you didn't catch my short video from the other day about burnout, you might want to check that out. But for my Aries signs, I think this is an important week to watch out for pushing too hard or doing too much, right? Be very cognizant of what actions you're taking, where you're moving, what you're doing, so that you can be a little bit calmer and not force something a little bit too hard into your life when you're not actually ready for it. So that's one big piece. Now, with the Seven of Pentacles, this is all about coming to a better sense of understanding on the work that you do. The Seven of Pentacles is saying that the work that you put in will lead somewhere, but you're not at the harvest season yet. You will get there. You're getting closer, but you're not there yet. So I think that's a part of where this pushes is you're acting and operating as if you're almost done. But the Seven of Pentacles is saying actually there's quite a bit more work to do in this process. So make sure that you transfer your settings, your personal self settings, to a place where you are not pushing too hard, right? So you're running a marathon, not a sprint. How can you operate in your life so that you've got the marathon going and not the sprinting? Now, you have the Emperor card, which is talking about being in control of your life and your situation and taking life by the reins and pushing yourself forward from that kind of place. So make sure that you are in control, that you're cognizant of what you want and what your needs are, and that you're acting from a place of understanding of who you are, what you want, where you want to go, and you're confident in yourself. Act in your confidence this week. That's going to be the biggest thing. Finally, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So there is real movement in whatever it is that you're working on and in your physical life. This talks about wealth, it talks about money, but it can also talk about stability. It can talk about the physical life. It talks about health, all of those things. There's movement, positive movement in that direction. So if you start the week by feeling a bit burnt out, I think by taking some rest and getting back into an understanding of yourself on a calmer level, I think that ultimately you open yourself up to the possibilities of actually allowing this work to lead you somewhere so that in the long run, you're feeling in a good place. Okay, so Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs. That was my reading for you this week. I hope you have an excellent week ahead. We are going to move on. If you would like a private reading for me, they are available on my website. You can find that information at www.junodrome.com. Depending on how we do on the timing of things, I may be open for some private readings at the end. I apologize for coming on here an hour early this week, but I have some things I have to get done later, so I had to come on a little bit early this week. So forgive me for that. For those of you who are used to me at a certain time, I do apologize for not giving you ample warning on that. But we are going to move on now to Taurus. Okay, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can you expect this week? Interesting. Wow. Okay, repeat cards, first of all. So we already have an understanding of what the collective needs. This is a week about taking your power into your own hands, understanding that your life is yours. that you are in control of this, even if it doesn't feel like it all the time, that you can push yourself forward however you need to make your life happen. You can do that. You can take control of the reins of your life and push your life in whatever direction you need. And don't let anybody ever tell you different, particularly yourself. That's the biggest one. You got to believe that you can do it, because you can. With that Seven of Pentacles, you have been working very hard at something, and that work needs to continue, but you need to do it in a sustainable way. I think that's very important. And that was the Aries message. But this is saying that the harvest season is coming. It will come. Have the faith that harvest is coming, but it's not here yet. And so because it's not here yet, you have to continue to build what you're building and have the faith that it will lead you somewhere that you want to be. So really open yourself up to that faith and that understanding. It's very important. With the Ten of Cups, this is ultimate happiness. So there's a real possibility of letting in true happiness into your life this week. And it's also about ultimate emotional stability too, and feeling like your emotions are not pulling you down, but also that you're on a nice even keel with your emotional state, particularly with that wheel there. It's like coming to the center of the wheel, not in these ups and down swings, but a nice even paced on the emotional state. So this week, I think you're going to be feeling balanced in your emotions, maybe more balanced in your emotions than you've been feeling in a long time. So what can you do with that balanced emotions? Because your emotional state is going to be so imbalanced, that gives you the opportunity with the Emperor to really push yourself even further, to really open yourself up, to know that you're not going to be on the swing. So how can you have this even keel and use it to your advantage this week? Finally, you have the Six of Wands, which is the victory card. So you're going to be victorious this week. You're marching towards victory. You're getting out there. You're achieving the things. You're doing it. You're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling good about life. You're feeling good about the world. So open your heart to that feel good energy, because it's going to help you in the long run feel connected to life and the universe and all that you can do. So open your heart to that, because this is a week for that. All right, Taurus, I hope that is helpful. Please have an excellent week. I'm so excited that you have opportunities to have a great week. So please do watch your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three will give you a good understanding. We're going to move on now to our Geminis. Before we do, if you would like a private reading from me, they are available on my website. You can find information at www.junodrome.com. I've got plenty of stuff up there. We're moving on to Gemini, sun, moon, and rising signs. Be sure to watch all three, because all three will give you a triangulation on what you can expect this week. Then let's move on to our Geminis now. You got a couple extras, Gemini. All right, Gemini, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can you expect this week? Well, you have the Empress, which is interesting. The Emperor has come up a lot, but this is the first time the Empress has come up today. With the Empress card, this is about being in your receptive power and being open to your creativity as well. I think for my Geminis, this is going to be a very creative week, but also opening yourself up to receiving ideas, to receiving inspired understandings, and then acting from that place of inspiration. This is a week of inspiration for you. And I think that inspiration comes from knowing that you can make anything happen. And you're going to be feeling the need to play it safe a little bit this week, Gemini. Whether or not you actually need to, I think that on an emotional level, you might be feeling a little bit reserved this week. So go with it, run with it. If you're feeling reserved, take a step back. Right? Take some steps back. On the one hand, I think that you might be feeling stuck with that, with this Eight of Swords. That's feeling stuck. But if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling reserved, or if you are feeling tender and the need to step back, I say run with it this week, because with that Empress card, it is showing that this is a week of inspired ideas and having things come to you. So I think that this is an excellent week for you to take a step back, to come into your own self, and to have this feeling of receptivity to the ideas that want to come in, that you're stable enough to take a little bit of a break too, I think, as well. With that Queen of Pentacles, she's a person who is so abundant that she can afford to help other people. She can afford to take her own time when she needs it. She can afford a lot of things to go off on her own and be on her own and do things. And so there is a bit of a need to do that this week, I think, for you as well. And to understand that it's okay to take the time out to do what you need to do for yourself without feeling the need to push too hard. Now, you do have the celebration with friends card too, though. So this isn't about total isolation and taking the step back to let ideas come to you. This might be taking a break from solid action and solid work and letting this pause, the pregnant pause. Empress can be pregnancy too. This pregnant pause to come back into yourself. Maybe take some time out. Maybe go hang out with your friends. Maybe go out and about a little bit more. Even though you're reserved, you're not pushing too hard. You're letting things come to you. I think the more that you do that this week, Gemini, you'll start to get these ideas and have these buzzing going on where you understand things on a deeper level and you can move forward from there. So Gemini, sun, moon, and rising signs, that's my reading for you this week. I hope that that is helpful, and we're going to move on. If you want more understanding of what to expect this week, I do offer private readings. They are available on my website. You can find information in the description or junodrome.com. We're going to move on now to Cancer signs. What can our Cancers expect this week? Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. Let's see. Okay, maybe one more. Great. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising signs. Okay, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can you expect this week? Well, with the King of Swords, you are being asked to think analytically and deeply about everything in your life right now and to take an analytical approach to any kind of decision making, any kind of choices, any kind of movements that you make this week. With that King of Swords, he's very smart, he's very intelligent, and he's not afraid to cut away the chatter, the things that are going on that aren't quite right, that aren't really helping him. He's very cognizant of those things, and he can move himself in the right dynamics to push himself forward in a positive way. And so you are being encouraged to do that, Cancer, to really let yourself feel good about who you are, about where you're coming from in life, and to move yourself forward from a place of understanding that knowing things clearly and moving from a clear-headed place will bring you in the right direction. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, with this Two of Swords, I do think that maybe you're going to be a little bit confused at what direction to go this week. And that's a part of where this analytical thinking comes in, is that use your analytical mind to help you make the choice on which direction to move forward. Don't let total emotional knee-jerk decisions push you in any direction. Let yourself have a clear-headed thinking in this, because the clearer you can have your perspective, the more understanding you're going to have on how to move forward. Now, with this Nine of Wands, this is about being in a place of your own personal power. And the thing about the Nine of Wands is it has this tendency to be the battle hardened soldier. So it's using these past battles in the mind that remain to think about your current situation. You're being encouraged not to do that so much with this card usually. So sometimes this person holds themselves back. You can see they're in the little prison there, based on the things that have happened in the past, and thinking, oh, well, this didn't work out before, and this feels a little bit like that situation that didn't work out. So now I'm scared. Now I'm not going to do this. Now I'm not going to push in a certain way, whatever. So this is about letting go of some of that feeling and opening yourself up to the idea that instead, maybe things could work out for me. Instead, maybe I can make things work in a better place for me. Really opening your mind to the possibilities instead of letting yourself be held back by the past in a way that's going to push you in a way that's unhelpful. Finally, you have the Three of Pentacles, which talks about building something, talks about laying strong roots and strong foundations. So you're being encouraged this week, particularly as you decide which way to move, to build up a very strong foundation for yourself this week. And being on that strong foundational level is going to be very, very helpful in supporting you moving forward. So do the work now to let yourself be in a positive place for the future so that once things start to come in a little bit more, you'll be exactly where you need to be in a stability place. And don't be afraid to make yourself stable in this moment. I know you might have a lot of ideas, you might have a lot of places you want to go, you might have a lot of things you want to push forward, but this card in particular says, well, let's not build a castle in sand. Let's have a strong root to build everything off of. And if we need to take a long time to build the groundwork for this, that's fine. The more that you can do to do that, the more that you'll be in a place in the future of real stability once things start to come in, so that you don't have that castle in sand, you don't fall over. So when you're at that beginning stage, be in it, build that strong foundation, because that's going to help you so much in the future. Okay, so for my Cancer sun, moon, and rising signs, that was my reading for you. I hope that that's helpful. I do encourage you to please look at your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three are going to help triangulate what's going on. If you have, 2 and 1, then maybe that particular sign might have more significance in these readings. Some people have stellium, so if you have all three, maybe you can look at some other placements. You can always look at like Jupiter placements and Saturn placements and things like that too. They all have maybe some significance for you. All right. Oh, and also your north node, wherever your north node is, that can be helpful too. Your north node talks about like some of the main challenges in this life and what might be hard, but if you focus on that, it actually helps build you up really strong. So that might be somewhere to look at as well. Okay, we're going to move on now to Leo. All right, Leo, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can you expect this week? Well, you have the Five of Pentacles. So let's get right into that. That talks about a dark night of the soul period. So for my Leos, that doesn't necessarily mean what you're going through. This might be memories of the past. But if you are going through any kind of deep challenges or even minor setbacks in your life, because sometimes that's all this talks about, sometimes by being totally and completely present in where you are, even if it's uncomfortable, that can help move you forward, right? That you can't trying to escape where you are in this moment will never actually get you out of where you are, right? So take the time to be present with yourself, to be in this, and that there might be some spiritual knowledge to be gained from being in whatever place you're in, even if it's uncomfortable. So if you find yourself in a difficult place this week, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Not that you're supposed to be in a difficult place, right? Not what I'm saying. But sometimes when we're in challenges, they can give us an opportunity to learn more about ourselves or to learn more about life so that we can move forward from a place of a positive place. We can take something from the difficulty. So you're being encouraged to think about it in that way. You got the Nine of Swords, which talks about maybe some uh, anxiety. So a lot of what your struggles are this week might be internal, and that your own mind might be bringing you into those places that you don't want to go. And you might not actually be there. It might just be a mental situation. And so that's something to keep in mind as well. What can you do to help with your anxiety? Maybe do some kind of meditation practice, or do some kind of getting back out into nature, or just taking time for yourself to be more calm, to be more peaceful, to be more in a place of positivity within yourself and within your own life may help you in the long run build a more stronger foundation for yourself as you move forward. Now, you do have the rest card. So if you are going through any kind of challenges, particularly if they're of the mind, one ways that you can help yourself is to just take some time out. Maybe this is an important week to, yes, definitely get your obligations done. If you have any major obligations, like make sure you're meeting your responsibilities, but any of your extra time, maybe give yourself some time for rest and rejuvenated rest, not doom scrolling, but real sleep when you need sleep. Getting enough sleep in general could be really helpful in the mental state in particular. So are you getting enough sleep? Are you planning enough to have enough time at night to sleep and rest and really rejuvenate yourself? Taking that time might be really helpful for you. And then if you can get some any other time, maybe get some park time, get some forest time, get some walking time, get some whatever, outdoor exercise if you can. Be outside in nature at some point this week. That could be really helpful for you as well. Lorraine, hello. Nice to meet you, first time viewer. Happy Sunday. Welcome, Lorraine. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going through all of the zodiac signs right now to see what all of them can expect. Right now, we're in Leo. So tune in for your sun, moon, and rising signs. There'll be a lot more to come, and then you can always go back and post to take a look at things. So welcome. I appreciate that you being here. So you are, Leo, being encouraged to take some rest this week and to get to a place of feeling more comfortable about yourself and about your situation. So that could be really helpful. Lorraine, Gemini here. Oh, nice. Me too. Me too. Yeah, I already did Gemini, but check out your rising signs and your moon signs as well, potentially. And you can always, if you want, you can rewind this video. I did Gemini. We're on Leo right now. There was Cancer before, and then there was Gemini right before that, just so you know. Okay, so Leo, your final card is the star. So with the star, there is an opportunity here for you to be more in line with the light that comes after the challenges too. So, that's a very good sign because you had that dark night of the soul card to have the star come too. This is the calm after the storm. This is the light after these feelings for you. Rising and sun, moons mean. Yeah, okay. So, in your horoscope, if you can go online and do like a um horoscope generator, it'll give you all of your signs. If you know where you were born, what time you were born, and those are the two big ones: where, what time, what day, all of those things. If you know all three of those, you can calculate where all of the planets were when you were born. Your main sign, so you said you're a Gemini, that's your sun sign. And then your moon sign, supposedly the moon sign happens to be what your emotions are, how you express your emotions. And that's where the moon was in the sky when you were born. And then your rising sign is that is like what constellation was rising in the sky when you were born, something like that. And your rising sign is supposed to be what your how people see you. That tends to be like that. So yeah, you can find those on an online calculator if you need to. And then you can just keep watching for all of it too, because actually like all of these readings give a little bit of something for the whole collective. So whatever you tuning into these, whatever you're catching that seems to be really connecting with you, then that's a sign that it's probably a message for you. If anything feels like off or like, I don't know, then that's probably not. And that's okay, right? So always take what resonates with you and go ahead and leave the rest of it. Lorraine, many thanks. You're sweet to give clarity. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's why I'm here. So I'm happy to. All right. So, Leo, with that star, this is about coming back into a sense of peace and calm after the difficulty. So, that's something to keep in mind, particularly when you're going through an anxious period. If you can remind yourself as you're going through that anxiety that, hey, you know what, this is just a storm, but the calm is coming too, that can be really helpful. If you imagine yourself as a tree in the storm, imagine that your own energy is going down to your root and to your center and breathe through that, imagining that you are a tree. So that's something that can help you with any kind of like deep emotional situation. If you can just focus on your breath and your breathing and imagine that breath and that breathing going straight into your root deep down, like the more that you can do that kind of work, you come back into a sense of calm, you come back into a sense of presence that can help you moving forward. All right, so we're going to move on, Leo. I hope you have an excellent week. I do think even if you go through any kind of challenges, you're going to end the week from a feeling of calm after that. So just, ride through it, ride through those storms if you're going through them, and know that you're not alone, that we all are going through so much right now, that the world is so crazy right now. And be in your own calm however you can is going to be very important for you. Okay, so we're going to move on now to Virgo, sun, moon, and rising signs. If you would like a private reading with me, they are available on my website. You can find information at www.junodrome.com. Be happy to give you one. And we're going to move on now to Virgo. Okay, Virgo, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can you expect this week? Well, first of all, you have the Three of Cups. So this is going to be a good week for you to meet up with your friends and to be in your own support structure. This can mean having fun. It means celebration, being lighthearted. I think that connecting in with like-minded people and getting out there, putting yourself out there into the world with other people and being social, I think is going to be very important for you this week. So let yourself do that. Don't feel like you have to hold yourself back too much this week, Virgo. I think this is a great week for you getting out and being with people and doing things, having fun, being social, putting yourself out there. The more that you can do that this week, the more that you're going to be feeling really solid in yourself. And I think that that's going to be really helpful in the long run. With the Ace of Pentacles, this is a moment of connecting in with your own peace. This is about receiving the blessings of the world this week. It's a new beginning in your physical world. So what changes do you want to make in your physical spaces if they're not feeling good, right? You are safe here to make moves and make changes. This is the safety card. And sometimes it means holding things back a little bit. So if you're feeling a little bit like you need to hold yourself back, that's okay too. But just remember that there's some like-minded people out there who would love to have a good time and celebrate with you. So being open to that as well could be really helpful. With that Ace of Pentacles, this is a new beginning in the physical life. So how can you allow in the blessings that are coming in to have more peace, to have a good time, to let yourself feel good about where you are in this moment and not feel like you have to push yourself too hard in any other direction, right? That you can open yourself up to being in something different and being in something new, and you don't have to maintain old systems. That this is a great time to make some changes, to do some spring cleaning on yourself. I know we're not in spring yet, but we're almost there. So giving yourself that opening would be really helpful. With the Nine of Swords, this is about being okay with not having all of the answers sometimes. That's what this is calling for me. Now, this can talk about deceit or having people around you that are kind of tricky. So do watch out as you're hanging out with people, use your discernment about who you're spending your time with. That's on one level. But also, though, sometimes it means like not really knowing everything that's going on and being okay with that sometimes. So I don't know if you'll have all the answers this week, Virgo, but that's okay too. Just know that you are safe, that safety is here for you, and that this is a great opportunity for you to try something different, to try something new. Even if you don't have all the answers moving forward, that it's still going to open you up to the possibilities and give you a sense of peace and understanding. So anyway, Virgo, I hope that was helpful. I hope you have an excellent week ahead. We're going to move on. Please do check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three signs will help you triangulate where you're coming from and what to expect this week. We're going to move on now to Libra. But before we do, I am open to private readings. If you would like a private reading with me, they are available on my website. You can find information at www.junodrome.com. I would be happy to give you one. And let's move on. All right, Libra, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can you expect for this week? Well, you have the Empress card, which I think Gemini had as well. So this is an opening of your own creativity this week that's going to be really powerful and positive for you. So what can you do to open yourself up to the creativity that's around you? Opening yourself up to inspiration and taking inspired actions will be really helpful for you. What can you do to come back into a sense of understanding and calm within yourself and to allow in the ideas to come to you? How can you be creative? How can you use your creativity in a positive and powerful way this week? Asking yourself those questions, I think, would be helpful. Being open to being creative and flowing from a creative place will help you feel good about yourself in the long run this week, I think. And you might find yourself inspired to take action along your creativity. I think if you've been feeling kind of stuck, that might continue a little bit. And that might be an opportunity for you to take a step back and be a little, let yourself, if you feel like you don't have a lot of momentum moving forward right now, use that, run with that. Let this be an opportunity for you to take some steps back and let things come to you instead of trying to push and push and push and push. That might be why you're feeling so. Let things come to you, to flow, let the ideas flow this way instead of pushing the things out, letting ideas flow to you. The more that you can do that this week, the more that I think you'll find yourself feeling more inspired to move forward. With the Hierophant, this is about doing the tried and true, doing the traditional thing, doing things that you know will work, right? That other people have tried before. So this isn't necessarily a moment for being totally and completely novel. This might just be the way of doing what you already know is going to work and maintain your levels at that point. I think this week might be like that, especially because you're feeling kind of stuck and you've got this creative spark and it's coming. I think because of that, as much as you can put yourself aside this week to allow yourself time, do the things you know you need to do, but let things come to you. With that Page of Pentacles, this is about learning how to do things differently, ultimately, and being a student in your physical life, in the physical world. So taking the time to embody that student energy is going to be really good for you as well. How can you learn what you're coming from more? How can you learn about yourself? How can you learn about how to change your environment in such a way that it reflects who you are and what you want more than where you may be in this moment? I think the more that you can do that, the more that you put yourself in a position of feeling good about life, about where you are, about what's happening. And ultimately, that puts you in a place of feeling really good about life, right? So, anyway, Libra, I hope that that's helpful. I do think you're going to have a very creative week. So embrace your creativity. The more that you can embrace your inner creative spirit, the more that you're going to be feeling really positive and like life is doable for you in a way that maybe you haven't felt with that stuck energy. So just be open-minded to that. And the more that you can do that, the better, I think. All right, so please do check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three will help you triangulate where you're coming from and give you a good perspective on how to move forward. We're going to move on now to Scorpio. So what can our Scorpios expect this week? Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. If you would like a private reading from me, they are available on my website. You can find information by going to www.junodrome.com. We're going to move on to Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising signs. Scorpio. Scorpio, I need one more card, please. Thank you. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. Okay, Scorpio, what can you expect this week? Well, you have the Empress card. So with the Empress here, this is about creativity. This has been coming up a lot. So I think you're going to be feeling a creative inspiration this week as well. But for you, it's coming in the face of your own anxieties. So you might be coming face to face with your anxious self and your overthinking energy. And I think that you're being encouraged to meet that with the creative spirit. So maybe this is about journaling. Maybe this is about writing. This is about writing things down, drawing, doing something creative, some kind of creative project might help you alleviate any kind of anxiety that you're having. So if you're feeling overwhelmed this week, you're feeling like things are too much, you're feeling like you don't know how to move forward, embrace your own creative spirit in that energy and use your creativity to help you move through any kind of challenging emotions you might be facing right now. With the Seven of Cups, I think you have a lot of opportunities and you have a lot of things moving forward. And maybe that's a part of where this anxiety is coming from, is this feeling of overwhelmed at the possibilities, overwhelmed of all of the things you could be doing, thinking about all the things, well, maybe I could do this and maybe this is what I want to do, but maybe that's really better and maybe. Being stuck in that maybiness and those maybe things might be making you feel a little bit anxious. And so because of that, taking some step backs and just choosing one thing to work on, one little thing, one project might be really helpful. With the Page of Wands, this is about being a student in your passions and your inspirations. So don't feel like you have to have all the answers this week either, particularly if you are working on some kind of creative project or doing something. There's a sense of needing to allow yourself to learn how to do things differently, to experiment, to be in a novel place. And so maybe this is just about picking up one of these cups and trying it. And if you don't like it, you can put it down and pick up a different one. This doesn't have to be the end all be all, but you are being encouraged to choose one thing and to work on one thing this week a little bit and give it a fair shot. Ask yourself if it's what you want. And if it's not, that's fine too. Finally, you have the Five of Pentacles, which is the Dark Night of the Soul card. So I do think there's a bit of an energy of feeling tricky, feeling like you don't know how to move forward on some path and being a little bit scared because of that. But I do think in the long run, really embracing your own spark, your own inner light, and taking some steps back and just letting things come to you this week instead of feeling the necessary to push out into the world, letting the inspired things from the world come to you. The more that you can do that with this Empress card, the more that I think by the end of the week you'll be feeling really good and inspired, and like you can actually put things out there on a deeper level. So anyway, not pile numbers. I'm sorry, Scorpio. That's my reading for you this week. I hope that it's helpful. Please do check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three will help you triangulate where you're coming from. We're going to move on now to Sagittarius. So what can our Sagittariuses need to know this week? If you would like a private reading from me, they are available on my website. You can find information at junodrome.com. Let's see, one more. All right. Okay. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising signs. There we go. All right, Sagittarius, what can you expect this week? Well, you got the Justice card, so I think that you're going to be feeling justice for something in your life this week. I think that some kind of place that maybe you felt wronged in the past, or you felt like hasn't been good for you or hasn't worked out in the best way for you, you're going to be feeling a reciprocal energy this week of things coming back in a positive direction, or the energy that you've put into something may come back to you in a different way this week. I think you're going to be feeling really good about that. I think something positive is coming back in this moment for you that ultimately will help you feel like you can move forward. And I think with the Two of Wands, you're going to start to be able to journey forward in places that maybe you haven't been able to before as well. This is about taking the next step, taking some steps where you've established yourself as the beginning. You've already opened things up, and now you're ready to start your journeying forward and really start the momentum, start the movements. I think that there's going to be things coming back to you where you're going to feel the energy to be able to finally move yourself forward in a positive direction. So with that energy, what do you want to do with it? What are you going to do to help yourself walk forward, to take the steps necessary, one step at a time, to move you in a positive direction? What can you do to help yourself move forward? That's what you're being encouraged to ask yourself this week, to take the time to think about what you can do moving yourself forward. With this Four of Wands card, this is about rest as well. So, as much as this is about journeying forward and momentum, I think that momentum comes from a place of a clear, fresh perspective. And that fresh perspective comes from taking some time for rest too. And so that's important to remember. And also too, especially if you're feeling super energized, make sure that you're not pushing too hard. Make sure that you are resting. You're taking your time for rest, for sleep, so that you can maintain the momentum as well, right? I think that's going to be important for you, is being able to maintain this energetic push moving forward. It's going to be able to incorporate the need of stepping back. So it's pushing forward, stepping back, pushing forward, stepping back in a nice balanced way so that you can maintain that positive push forward. There is movement in your physical world ultimately. So this could be in travel or moving somewhere or going somewhere different. Definitely road tripping energy, movement, moving in a new direction potentially. But also with that Knight of Pentacles, this is about understanding that wherever you are, whatever is happening, whoever you are in this moment as you, all of those things are in a place of positivity to help push you in the right direction. So what can you do to help yourself be in a positive place? What can you do that will ultimately help you in the long run? My internet might be unstable, so hopefully these have been working. We'll see. So anyway, I'm going to leave you there, Sagittarius. I hope that you have an excellent week ahead. We're going to move on now to Capricorn. Please do check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three will be helpful in the long run. So let's look at what Capricorns need to know this week. If you would like a private reading from me, they are available on my website. You can find information at www.junodrome.com. We are looking at all of the zodiac signs for your sun, moon, and rising signs. Right now, we're moving on to Capricorn. You can always check back to some of the readings before if you have missed it. We've got Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces left, and then our collective reading. So let's go on. Capricorn, what can you expect for the week? Well, you have the King of Wands, so you're being encouraged to embody the fiery passions of yourself. What can you do to be within your passions energy and to push yourself forward from a place of deep, passionate understanding? That's going to be really important for you this week. What can you do to take inspired actions? And if you feel really jazzed up about something this week, run with that energy, go with it. What are you feeling inspired about? This is about knowing what your inspirations are and using them to push yourself forward and to not be afraid to do the things you know you need to do to get yourself to where you want to be. Taking those actions, being in that place is going to be really helpful, because I think, you have the Hanged Man card, which talks about feeling stuck or feeling hung up. But the thing is, this person has done it in person to gain deep spiritual insights. So I think if you need to take some time out this week to become really clear and to do some gain inspiration, if you need to take some steps back in order to gain that inspiration, you can do that this week. And you're being encouraged to do that, to take whatever time you need to do that, and to meet yourself with compassion with this Queen of Cups card, to be compassionate with yourself, to know that you can be who you need to be, whatever that might be in this moment. And be nice to yourself, be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. The more that you can do that with that Queen of Cups card, that will put you in a place of feeling really good about yourself in the long run, so that you can maintain that energy to move forward and that you can be in that inspired action. Last up, you have the Two of Cups, which talks about partnerships. So if you have any kind of partners, creative partners or romantic partners or business partners or any kind of partnership, being with somebody else and helping somebody else, supporting somebody else, and being supported by somebody else, I think will also help you in this. So your inspired actions may inspire those around you this week as well. And being open to that reciprocal inspirational energy. Maybe somebody around you will inspire you to take some important deep steps too. Being open to that, I think this week is going to be very helpful for you in the long run and help you understand yourself on a deeper level. So anyway, Capricorn, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great week. Please do check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three will help triangulate what you can expect this week and help you move forward. We are going to move on now to Pisces. No, Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, what can you expect this week? Well, you got the Three of Swords, so let's talk about that right away. This is the heartbreak card. So you might be dealing with challenging emotions, and that might be making you feel kind of defeated or burnt out. You might have pushed yourself too hard, Aquarius. And so if you've been pushing yourself too hard, or you're in a situation that's difficult emotionally, or you're in any kind of challenges or inner turmoil or anything like that, this is a good time for you to take some steps back and to come into yourself. Now, this isn't saying that that's going to happen, but you never really know in life, right? And we go through ups and downs and emotions all the time. And so one thing that you can do for yourself this week is take some time to nurture yourself and to come back into a sense of calm and peace. With that burnout card, you may really need to take some rest and rejuvenation anywhere that you can. So open yourself up to that. If you need to take some time for yourself this week, it's an important moment for you to do that. Really take some time to yourself, get to know yourself, feel in a gentler place with who you are and what's happening, get to a sense of calm within. The more that you can do that, the better off you're going to be in the long run. With this King of Swords energy, this is asking for you to be totally and completely inside your own inner wisdom and to move forward from a place of analytical understanding. Using your power of intellect will help you moving forward. Your own analytical mind is going to help you. So particularly if you're feeling super overwhelmed emotionally, maybe thinking about things analytically and critically, using your own critical thinking might help bring you off the ledge a little bit, right? So if you're on an emotional ledge, something that can help you move yourself back is to look at your situation a little bit more analytically. The more that you can do that this week, I think you might be feeling a little bit calmer, and that might keep you from feeling totally and completely overwhelmed, so that you can come back into a sense of calm and peace in this moment. Finally, you have the Seven of Pentacles, which is about in hard work in places. So the work that you've been putting in somewhere is leading you somewhere, and you are going to get to your harvest day. Harvest is coming, but it's not here yet. And so the thing about that is you just have to keep putting in the work, knowing that it's coming. You're starting to see the fruits of your labor with the Seven of Pentacles. You know that this is moving somewhere, but keep the momentum going. Keep moving. Now, of course, because of that burnout energy, this is important to remember as well. These two together sometimes mean like we think that we're almost at the end, but we're not with that Seven of Pentacles. And so remember that you're running a marathon and not a sprint. So you need to make sure that you're pacing yourself through this. You need to make sure that you're doing as much as you can to maintain the momentum that you need to without sacrificing your own health and your own personal stability. So just be careful about pushing too hard, but just know that it's coming, right? Especially with that King of Swords, like you have the clear-headed understanding that you are going to get to where you want to go, and make sure that you're building it sustainably into your life, that you're not pushing yourself too hard. You need to have a sustainable self through the situation. You can't push too hard because it's going to overwhelm you too much. So anyway, Aquarius, that was my reading for you. I hope that it's helpful. We're going to move on now to Pisces. If you would like a private reading from me, they are available on my website. You can find information at www.junodrome.com. Please do check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three are helpful in triangulating what energies you can expect for the week. We're going to move on now to Pisces. All right, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising signs. What can you expect this week? Well, you have the Seven of Wands, which is interesting. That talks about, let's just look at the imagery right now. With this card, you got this cat who's being attacked here. I didn't remember. Seven of Wands, though, means finally being able to overcome the attack. So you might be in a position, it's a symbolic attack, right? We're not talking about external. Could be, but usually not. It talks about being in the struggle but finally starting to overcome that struggle. So you're still in the struggle, but you're finally coming out of it. You're seeing the other end. You've got the light at the end of the tunnel. You're in the tunnel, but the light is shining through. You see the final stages here. So keep moving. Keep moving. You might not be out of the fight yet, but you're still headed in the right direction. So keep moving in that direction. With the Ace of Wands, this is a new beginning in your passions and your inspiration. So you might be feeling inspired this week. Run with it. If you feel like you have an inspired action, you feel like you want to be creative, you want to put in your creativity somewhere, you feel a new beginning in your creative world of burning passion to move forward, run with that energy. Use that energy, because the more that you can use that energy, you're going to have that momentum to push you out of this tunnel that you've been in. So open up to that. With the Knight of Swords, this is about movement in the mind as well. So having very clear-headed thinking and changing your perspective. Sometimes this means like moving in a new understanding of things mentally, letting yourself think about things differently and move in a new perspective, an open perspective on your life and on who you are. The more that you can do that this week, the more that it puts you in a position of feeling open to who you are, to what you want, and not feeling so forced in any other direction. So what can you do to push yourself to think about things in a more positive light? That this is a moment where you can change your thinking. So what can you do to change your thought cycles so that you're thinking more positively to help you move that momentum forward in the direction that you want to go? Last up, you have the Page of Cups. So this is about being a student in the emotions. So learning how to balance your emotional state is going to be really helpful for you this week as well. And being open to the fact that you might not have all the answers in that either, and that's okay. If you don't have all the answers, that's fine. Life is about being open-minded towards whatever is happening, and we don't need to push ourselves too hard in any one direction. We can be open-minded to whatever is happening in this moment. So just being a little bit more open in life in general, I think will be really helpful for you moving yourself forward. So anyway, that was for Pisces. I hope that was helpful. I know there's a little bit of a quick reading today, but we're moving a little bit quickly. And thank you so much for tuning in. Please do check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All three are helpful for triangulating where you're at this week. If you would like a private reading from me, they are available on my website, www.junodrome.com. I would be happy to give you one. And let's see what else is coming up for the collective. We're going to do the collective reading right now, and then I think we'll call it today. What does the collective need to know? Welcome. What does our collective need to know for the week of February 9th through February 16th? Well, first of all, you've got this rest card, and this one has come up a lot today. So there's an importance in resting and rejuvenating. So make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're taking the time to come back into a sense of calm, to take as much time for rest as you can. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, yes, but also if you can take some time on your off moments for rest as well, that could be helpful. Is there a time in your day when you can go outside in nature? Is there a moment in your life when you can look out the window without anything that you have to do and just look at the trees or watch the birds fly or see the clouds move? Anything you can do for yourself to have those moments of peace will be very helpful for you in the long run this week. With the Three of Cups, there is a problem here. Sorry, the Three of Swords. It's not a problem, but there's a situation where you're overwhelmed emotionally. And I think we all are overwhelmed emotionally, especially here in the United States. Probably globally, there's a lot of emotional overwhelm going on. There's a lot of fear energy. There's a big push of being scared, all of that. Well, this is kind of encouraging you to take some time to heal that, to take whatever time out you need to do. And a part of this rest, I think, is also taking some steps back from some of the external media and social media and bubble of fear that might be surrounding you. Taking some time to push that out a little bit and be in a place of calm, I think will be very, very helpful. With the Five of Cups, this is about understanding that this is the grief card. So you might be feeling some emotional difficulty, and this is about loss too. So if you're grieving over the loss of something, whether it's external, internal, whatever, there is a need to give yourself as much time and space to feel everything you need to feel. Being in your feelings is important, and feeling all of the things, even if they're hard and challenging, will help you in the long run come to a place of stability within yourself. So do take the time to feel what you need to feel. That's very important. Once you do that, this card also encourages you to take a look at what is actually in your life and to be open to knowing that there may be some positive things left over. This card, not in this deck, but in a lot of decks, it usually happens to be a person who three of the cups have fallen over, but they still have two left in the background. And that symbolizes the idea that sometimes when we lose some things, we gain a better perspective of what we still have left, and we can cherish those things that we have left all the deeper. So there is an encouraging moment for you in this moment to embrace the things that are remaining in your life and to cherish those things even harder. What are the things that are working? What are the positive things that are still here? Now, that doesn't negate the terrible things. And we don't have to pretend like the terrible things aren't happening. That will do nobody any favors. But we can cherish the beautiful things that are here, and we can put our hope and our love into the things that we have to build them even stronger, to build our inner resilience, to help ourselves move forward. With the Three of Pentacles, you are being encouraged to build strong foundations. And I think as a community, we're all being encouraged to build strong, powerful foundations in our lives. What can you do to build a strong foundation in your life? The more that you can build those strong foundations, the stronger you're going to feel in the long run, and it's going to help you move yourself forward. So what can you do to build up this strong inner resilience? The more that you can build that for yourself, the more that you can feel like you're in a place of stability, and you can move forward from that place of stability. Very important. Finally, you have the King of Pentacles. So this is encouraging you to be in your stability power, that we have stability in our wheelhouse this week. So, as much as things might be feeling emotionally turmoil, what are the things that are solid in your physical life that are moving you forward? Tuning into the solid things that you have available to you is going to be very, very helpful and very important. So, what can you do to feel solidly in your power this week to help yourself move forward? The more that you can do that, the more that you're going to be feeling good. So, for the collective, that was our collective message for the week. I hope that you have an excellent week ahead. I know that this reading came a little bit early, so my apologies for having to come in an hour early and not really advertising that much. I will be back at the normal time next week, so we'll be back at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern next week. My apologies for that, but I had to come in a little bit early because I have to run and do something today. So thank you so much for tuning in to this reading. That was it for today. If you would like a private reading for me, they are available on my website. You can find information at junodrome.com. Otherwise, we're going to head out. Thank you so much to all of our new subscribers. We've had so many new subscribers in the last few weeks. It's crazy. A lot of new people, a lot of energy coming into the channel. The views are up. The watch time is up. So thank you so much to everybody who's been tuning in. I just have the deepest appreciation for all of you. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We do a live reading every week, every Sunday, where I read the energy for the week based on zodiac signs, your sun, moon, and rising signs. I have daily shorts giving you a little bit of understanding of what's happening that day, whatever energy is popping into the cards. And then I do 2 pick a card readings a week. One yes or no video a week where we answer your yes or no question, and then another more open general pick a card tarot reading where you can choose between 3 different piles or sometimes 4 different piles to figure out what will happen for the week for you and to get a better understanding of whatever the topic is. So we do different themes and topics. Sometimes they're spiritual messages from nature. Sometimes they are career-based readings. Sometimes they are many, many different readings, emotional readings. I don't do romance readings very often, but if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. And if you ever want to leave a comment anywhere with suggestions for this channel, please do. I would appreciate hearing your thoughts whenever you have them. And that's it from now. So if any of my longtime listeners are catching me just now, you're having a couple people tune in. So welcome everybody who's tuned in. I'm just about finished here. If you want to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs, you can go back within the video. I would say within about 10 minutes, I will have an updated description section with a link to where each one goes. So you're welcome to tune back in then. You can, for now, you can scroll through. I rang the bell each time at the beginning of each reading. So that could be one way to help you find where each one is. We go through Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. So they're all in there. You can go find them. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I will catch you in the next reading next week. I apologize once again for having to be a little bit early this week and not fully advertising that, but I will catch you all next week at the normal time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you later. Bye.